Pro Bowl selections are cool, but
That would be so awesome.
hey, what's going on, y'all? You tuned into Sports Talk with Big Sarge. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports, the Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports, the Z at the end. Did you know we do everything for the gram? And make sure you subscribe to Big Sarge Media and Texans Tailgate Talk, all one word, on YouTube. Hey, how y'all doing? It is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Tuesday morning here in Houston, Texas. Hey, hold on. I'm in Houston, Texas. In Houston, Texas, at the sound of the beep, the current temperature will be 72 degrees. Beep. Okay, hold on. All right, I got to do it, y'all. I got to age myself a little bit. Some of y'all don't have a clue about calling to get the time and the weather. There used to be a number. Hold on, y'all. I got to look this up, y'all. I apologize. This ain't how I wanted to start the show, but this is how I'm gonna start the show. And you know, when you're here on Sports Talk with Big Sarge, anything could happen. What number did you call for the time? Hold on. In Houston. Let me see. People used to call numbers like 222-7171, but I thought there was used to be like 3 numbers. Did you ever call, son? Did you ever call 713 Houston in the old days? Exactly. There used to be a number that you used to call back in the day that you can get the time and you can get the weather. I remember that. God dang. Sarge, you old. For real, for real. Like you really old, Sarge. Like you old for real. Yeah. But it's a beautiful day here in Houston, Texans. Texans. I keep saying Texans because I'm so used to saying Texans so much. It's a beautiful day here in Houston, Texas. 72 degrees. And it's like, is that kind of weird for it to be 72 degrees in December? Like, we're 2 days away from Christmas. In other places, people are freezing. They got their big coats out. They got their leather out. And here I am. I'm in short sleeve. I could have on shorts today. There are a lot of people that will be walking around the city of Houston in shorts. And I think that it's supposed to be, I think they're supposed to be like that for a very long time. What's up, H-Town Tony? Omar, yes, they do practice today. What's up, Doc? But it just find it weird. Now I'm headed out to LA where it's supposed to be raining, I think Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday it's not. So when I'm there for the Rockets versus the Lakers on Christmas Day, which is Thursday, it's supposed to be raining. But on the 27th, when the Texans play the Chargers, it won't be raining. And I like going to SoFi Stadium. It's an inside stadium, so it's gonna be cool. All right. Let's jump right into this thing. Once again, you're tuning into Sports Talk with Big Sarge. I'm your host, Big Sarge. On Tuesday morning, the NFL announced that their Pro Bowl rosters and their alternates, and 4 Houston Texans were named to the Pro Bowl roster with 3 alternates. You have defensive end Will Anderson Jr., You have cornerback Derek Stingley. You have linebacker Aziz Al Shair, and you have wide receiver Nico Collins. Now, you two of those names stand out, and you know that they were going to be selected as Pro Bowl, to the Pro Bowl roster as starters, as a matter of fact. But the other two, like I didn't know what they were going to do, if they were teeter tottering on Nico because of the way that his numbers have fluctuated a little bit this season with especially when CJ Stroud went down, but Davis Mills found him a lot. But I didn't know if they were going to vote him as a starter, but he was voted as a starter. I knew he'd make the Pro Bowl. I didn't know if it'd be as a starter. And then Aziz Al Shair, like I think that that's a credit to who that young man is and what that young man has gone through and what he has overcome in his career. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of crybabies in Jacksonville right now saying that Aziz shouldn't have made the Pro Bowl. Pretty sure that they got a bunch of players that they could think, and I wonder if Trevor Lawrence got a vote for the Pro Bowl, because I know the players get a chance to vote. I wonder if Trevor Lawrence voted Aziz Al Shair as to the Pro Bowl roster. Petty Pendergrass, that's me. But I'm super proud for Aziz Al Shair, and I'm super proud with the, like Doc says, Zero is having a great season and was truly missed Sunday. He was missed on Sunday, and we'll get to that game in just a second. But I like what Aziz Al Shair has done this season. I like how he is the quarterback and the staple of that defensive side of the ball. We've seen earlier this month when he was named the Houston Texans Walter Payton Man of the Year, and is a candidate for the NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year. And so we're going to be able to get an opportunity and a chance to see, you know, Aziz Al Shair over these next two games, if he's healthy enough to play, be able to take their Houston Texans defense into to that next level. Defensive backs Kamari Lassiter, Kalen Bullock, and Jalen Petrie were all voted in as alternates, and I'm pretty sure that one or two of those, at least two of those players, will probably get an opportunity to be picked up. More 9 times out of 10, a lot of those players tend to drop out of the Pro Bowl. And if you're a Houston Texans fan, you're hoping that your players will drop out of playing in the Pro Bowl, because that means that they will be playing in the Super Bowl. And so the Pro Bowl will be held out in the Bay Area, the same place that the Super Bowl will be held. So it's cool to have the Houston Texans be acknowledged, Houston Texans players be acknowledged, for what they've done this year, especially on the defensive side of the ball, with three defensive players named to the Pro Bowl roster, one offensive player in Nico Collins, and then three other players who will be in as alternates. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what really kind of threw me off a little bit, though. Uh, Hold on for a second. No. All right. So, I'm gonna tell you what threw me off a little bit on yesterday. So, not on yesterday, and now he didn't got me all thrown. I'm gonna tell you what threw me off today. Why isn't Danielle Hunter one of the why isn't the Danielle Hunter an alternate? Is he not having a great season as well? Is Danielle Hunter not, if I'm not mistaken, Danielle Hunter is third in the Danielle Hunter is third as far as sacks is concerned. Let me see. Let me pull this up real quick. Sacks. That's what I thought. Myles Garrett from the Cleveland Browns has 22. Brian Burns from the New York Giants has 15, and Danielle Hunter is tied for third with the Chargers linebacker at 13. And so what I can't understand is, how is a player who has 13 sacks not considered at least an alternate? I mean, he has 13 tackles for loss this season. I just don't understand. Like I can understand, the players that they pick as far as the starters are concerned. But I can't understand how Daniil Hunter isn't an alternate. Like at best, if you're not gonna name him, yeah, hold on for a second. Who has I don't know how you know my stuff has gotten into this weird Russian bot algorithm, but it has. Uh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. What's up, Senior Boble? Some of these weird people are coming in here. Okay, and I was, what, let me say this. Hey, look, if you stay to the end of the show, I'll tell you why. But if not, then no. All right, so where are all these weird people coming from? Hey y'all, I'm going to need a I'm gonna have to have somebody behind the scenes of my what you call it behind the scenes running my show in 2026 to get some of these weirdos up out of here. Because this is weird to me. I digress. I feel like that Daniil Hunter should have been at least an alternate for the AFC Pro Bowl because I mean for the 2026 NFL Pro Bowl roster because of the season that he's having. And I could tell that he is one of those players, like you said, he's not going to do any campaigning. He's just going to go out there and do what he needs to do. But I think it's kind of like a slap in the face to him, and maybe it's because they didn't want to have as many players from the Houston Texans defense, at once. But they got the number one defense in the league. Like, I mean, okay, I get it. You can't give everybody a spot on the roster, but you can make as many alternates as you want. So I don't like that. Yes, hold on. Vega has a great point. Denzel Ward over Kamari Lassiter is disgusting, and Jalen Ramsey at safety over Kalen Bullock is disgusting. I like the way Jalen Ramsey is playing. I don't want to take anything away from Jalen Ramsey, but Denzel Ward over Kamari Lassiter, I think that's a travesty. And I like Denzel Ward. And I think that if I'm not mistaken, didn't Kamari give him props a couple of weeks ago when he was on another show? Didn't he talk about Denzel Ward? And I like Denzel Ward, don't get me wrong, but like there's only so many times that you can keep disrespecting Kamari Lassiter. Last year, you didn't put him on the NFL all rookie team. He got snubbed on a couple of other things that I think that he should have gotten on last season. And now this year he comes out and he's having a way better season than he had in his rookie season. And this is year two. And you can't keep overlooking what Kamari Lassiter has done on the field this season. You cannot overlook his impact on the field because there's a lot of times uh, because a lot of times when teams line up, they're trying their best to stay away from Derek Stingley Jr. and rightfully so. But that don't mean you can just go to the other side of the field and pick on Kamari Lassiter because he is one of those people that will make you pay. He has 4 interceptions this year. I don't know how many pass deflections that he has. Let me see something. Let's look at pass deflection. Kamari Lassiter is currently tied for 5th with 16 pass deflections this season, and the leader, Mike Jackson out of Carolina, has 17. So he's only one away from tying, being tied for first for pass deflections. As far as interceptions are concerned, he is him, Jalen Petrie, Derek Stingley. Yeah, him, Petrie, and him, Petrie. Yeah, because they put this stat out later. Him, Kamari Lassiter, Kalen Bullock, Derek Stingley Jr., and Jalen Petrie are all tied for 6 in the NFL with 4 interceptions, with the leader being Kevin Byard III out of Chicago with 6. And so I don't understand how, I understand that you made him an alternate or whatever the case may be, but like he could have easily been a starter, and I don't think that anybody would have said anything about that, because when you look at what the Houston Texans defense has done, especially when you look at that defensive backfield, it's him, it's Stingley and him, 1-2. They shut down a lot of what these opposing quarterbacks want to do. It shut down a lot of what these opposing offensive coordinators want to do. And I just think that it's a slap in the face for you not to do that. So, yeah, even though the Houston Texans have a lot of representation on the, in the Pro Bowl, there's still some things that they could feel slighted by, and they should add that as a chip on their shoulder as they head into these final two games against the Chargers and the Colts, and use that for fuel to maybe get to their first AFC Championship game, win that, and then potentially be in the Super Bowl. So, we will see. That's why I said the Pro Bowl selections are cool, but the Houston Texans defense, they're looking for another thing. So hold on one second, y'all. Hey, bro, you might be new here. I don't care what the hell you want. If you don't want to be here, guess what? Beat your feet, kick rocks. I don't give a damn. You know what the number one saying is when you're doing these type of things, when you're creating these type of content? Hey, you don't let the fans produce your show. And see, everybody else in here, they're supporters. You are a fan. I don't give a fuck what you want. I don't care. If you don't want to stay, get your ass on. I didn't ask you to come in the first place. Like, you may be new here, bro. So let me go ahead and tell this to you. Hey, I'm not them. I wouldn't give a damn if you never showed up in the chat again. I don't care, bro. That don't fuel me. I am a grown man. I'm about to be 54 years old in a couple of weeks. I don't give a damn what you want. I don't care. I got grandkids, bro. See this? It's gray hair. I don't care. You can get trying to be a better person. Hey, if you don't want to stay, get your ass on. Good day. Let's see what Las Vegas on. Is Stingley real when he will make an excuse not to go to the Pro Bowl to let Kamari Lassiter in, since he is the first alternate? Okay, I get it. Yeah, could be. All right, y'all. We're about to take a break, but when we come back, we're gonna hop into this latest victory by the Houston Texans over the Las Vegas Raiders at 23, with a 23-21 score to extend their winning streak to 7 games. And I think that I have a different take than what a lot of other people have when it comes to what happened in that game on Sunday. We'll be back.
Hi, Laura Williams coming to you here from Easy Honda. Just want to remind you that this is my new home, and here at Easy Honda, we are here to take care of all your vehicle needs. From new vehicles to pre-owned vehicles, we've got what you are looking for. And if you're a business and you're looking for vehicles, we've got a great selection here at our dealership. For any information on getting your next vehicle here at Easy Honda, you can reach me at 281-224-3666. Remember to ask for Laura Williams. We make it easy here at Easy Honda.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. You're tuning to Sports Talk with Big Sarge. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Oh, man. Hey, let me tell y'all something. I got some big plans in 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. I'm pretty sure that last guy that I had to tell to kick rocks is like, but you said, Sarge, you said. I don't give a damn. Hobble your ass on over to them other places that, want your like, your comment, your subscribe, whatever it is you do. Send them $2 in the Cash App somewhere. I don't give a damn. I digress. Welcome back. You're tuning to Sports Talk with Big Sarge. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Hey, so on Sunday, right? On Sunday, the Houston Texans extended their winning streak, the longest winning streak in the NFL, to 7 games by defeating the Las Vegas Raiders by a score of 23-21. And I get it. Let me just pause and say this. I get it. I understand. There's a lot of Houston Texans fans out there that are pissed off, that are mad. They wanted to see the team play better. They wanted to see the team perform better. I get it. I understand. Okay? I understand. I got it. I understand. But please tell me that after 2 days of being able to process what happened in that game, you're saying to yourself, okay, so maybe the game isn't as bad as I thought it was. The score was closer than what most people thought it was going to be, especially with the Raiders only producing 75 offensive yards the week prior in the 31-0 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. So you look at a team who is, jockeying for position for the first overall pick in the NFL draft, and you say to yourself, the Houston Texans should run right over the Las Vegas Raiders. And some people can say that. Some people can say that they were supposed to run right over the Raiders. The score shouldn't have been as close as it was. Hell, I said it on Sunday. I was like, hey, y'all can't look, y'all haven't reached a place yet, right? The Houston Texans haven't reached a place yet where they can look past a team like the Raiders and focus on their next week opponent in the Los Angeles Chargers. Like, you can't look past the Raiders and look towards the Chargers in that big week 17 matchup. You got to play right here, right now, do whatever it is you need to do right here and right now. And so with that being said, I get it. I got it. But I don't think that a lot of people realize that the Raiders defense isn't as bad as what their offense is. Like, the Raiders offense is trash. Like, I'll go ahead and say it since nobody else would. The Raiders offense is trash, right? And if you take away those 2 big plays in that game by running back, Ashton Genty with the 60-yard catch, and we're definitely going to talk about that one. But if you take away the 60-yard catch that he had for a touchdown, and if you take away the 51-yard run that he had for a touchdown, you take that away, you're looking at a team, and you're looking at a Texans team who has controlled that game all the way through. And so I was watching the game in real time. I was with you all in real time. And I said, I get it. But I also realized that this is a Las Vegas Raiders team who has lost to the Denver Broncos twice this season by a combined 10 points. They lost to them the first time 10-7, and then they lost to them the second time 24-17. And we're talking about what, the number one team? Give me a second. I think we're talking about the number one team in the AFC. Let me see. Conference. Yeah, the Denver Broncos at 12-3 are the number one team, tied with the New England Patriots. But the Raiders played them and only lost to them by a combined 10 points. So if they can play a team that is the number one overall seed that close, it got me to thinking. I was like, okay, so, all right, that's the first thing. Second thing is, when you look at who leads the AFC South right now, that's the Jacksonville Jaguars, correct? Jacksonville barely beat the Las Vegas Raiders by a score of 30-29 in overtime. So we're talking about two of the top 4 teams actually in the NFL, in the AFC, two of the top 4 teams in the AFC right now, and the Raiders almost beat them. Almost beat the Broncos twice and should have beat the Jags. So when I take all of that into consideration, I'm saying to myself, okay, so the Texans win at 23-21. It isn't as bad as some would believe. Also, when you look at that Raiders defense, there's something like I want you to do when you have time. I want you to do some film study. All right, Big Sarge is giving you some homework. Big Sarge is going to give you some homework. This is what I need you to do. when you get an opportunity, go and look at some of these games that the Raiders has played. Look at the defense and look at Max Crosby, who was also voted to the 2026 Pro Bowl on Tuesday. Go and look at some of these games. He has no responsibility, meaning he can do whatever it is he wants to do on the defensive side of the ball. If Max Crosby wants to stand up and line up at safety, he can. If he wants to line up at linebacker, cornerback, defensive tackle, I think on one or two plays I may have seen Max Crosby line up over Texan center Jake Andrews. So if you want to see how good of a defense they actually have, I want you to go and I want you to look at Max Crosby. And the reason why I'm telling you to go look at Max Crosby is because when he does those type of things, when he's able to move up and down the line like that, even in film study, it's hard for an offensive lineman to get a beat on exactly what's going to happen, right? Because when you're looking at film, you're as offense coordinator, when you're looking at film and you're playing against the Raiders, the first thing that you want to look at is where's Max Crosby. All right. So wherever Max Crosby is, we need to make sure that we design these type of plays to with him in account. Not saying that don't run at him, not saying that you shy away from him. What you do is you make sure you know where he is at all times on the field. And if you're watching the film, you're saying to yourself, but he constantly moves. There was one play. You remember that play where you remember that one play where CJ almost got sacked in the end zone? It was almost a safety. I think if you go back and you look at that play, Max Crosby started out over right tackle Trent Brown. And by the time he got through the line, he was coming through Ariante Ursery and Titus Howard. And so when you're running those type of stunts and when you have that type of freedom to move around, sometimes it makes it a little bit harder for an offensive line to get a beat on where he's going to be. And so I'm not saying that the Texans shouldn't have done a better job as far as keeping the pressure off of CJ Stroud, but they could have done a better job of keeping the pressure off of CJ Stroud. But that's hard to do when you have a player like Max Crosby who can do all those types of things on the line. Let me give you another example. I think it was it the Colts game? I think it was the Colts game where they lined, well, where the Texans lined Will Anderson up over the center, and he got to the backfield like that. He got to the quarterback like that, got to Daniel Jones like that. That's because those offensive linemen are accounting for him. And now they look up and they say, hey, bro, you've never been over the center. And now that you're here over the center, you're trying to make the proper call because the guy that you normally see coming from the edge is standing right in front of you. I'll give you another example. Earlier this year, I think that D'Amico put Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. right next to each other, with Danielle being the edge rusher and Will being the defensive tackle. When you're an offensive lineman, you're saying to yourself, hey, we ain't never seen this before. I ain't never seen this before. So there are times when you're trying to account for players and the defense, that player will, end up doing something totally different. So what I will say is you have to tip the hat to the defensive coordinator from the Raiders. You got to tip your hat to the defensive coordinator for the Raiders to be able to move him around like that to get him where he needs to be. And so I looked at that and I said, okay, between the defense and the defense who has, like, at one point, Bo Nix was being considered for NFL MVP. With the way that Trevor Lawrence is playing here as of late, his name is being thrown around into some MVP conversations as well. And you have a team in the Raiders who only have 2 victories on the season, who, almost defeated the Broncos twice and the Jags. So I can't just totally dismiss what the Raiders did. Excuse me, what the Texans did on Sunday. Getting the win was actually a good thing for them, especially when you did look at it as, hey, what's going to happen? Which brings me to my next point, right? And this is going to piss some of y'all off, and I know it's going to piss some of y'all off because I said this to somebody earlier. I said this to somebody on Sunday after the game, and they looked at me like I was crazy. They was like, "Sarge, what the hell are you talking about? Ain't no possible way." I said, "Yeah, it is a possible way that when I say what I'm about to say, it is." Nick Caley, right? Texans offensive coordinator in his first year of calling plays, received a lot of criticism on Sunday. Nick Caley received a lot of criticism on Sunday for his play calling. But I don't think it was bad play calling as it was poor execution. Okay, hey, come closer to whatever apparatus you're listening to me on, and when you hear this on the playback, on the audio playback on the podcast, I need you to turn the volume up on whatever you're listening to me on. But for those of y'all who are watching me live right now, come closer. Come here. I don't think that Nick Caley called a bad offensive game. I think that the execution was not up to standard. I don't think that the execution was as good as it should have been. And that starts with quarterback CJ Stroud, who admitted I missed some throws. I may have rushed myself a little bit. I could have played better, especially in the first half, but in the second half, he got a whole lot better. Let me look at something really quick. Because let's see. Yeah, in the first half, CJ was 10 of 20 for 82 yards and no touchdowns. In the second half, he was 13 of 15 for 105 yards and one touchdown. And so he had a way better second half than he did in the first half. And the reason why I say that Nick Caley, called good plays and it was just bad execution at first, especially in that first half, was so there were a couple of plays that stood out, and y'all know I'm gonna try to get back to you all on Tuesday afternoon, not afternoon, maybe Tuesday night for how the Rockets play tonight. But I think that I can get a Texans happy hour in before that. But we're gonna go through a couple of plays where you look and you see that the play is called great. The route execution is great. But CJ just missed on the throw. What play was that where I forgot who? It may have been Dalton Schultz in front, but Christian Kirk was right behind him wide open and CJ just missed him. He overthrew him. I think there was a pass that could have been thrown to Xavier Hutchinson and he missed him. I think that there were a couple of passes that he missed on with Nico Collins. And so I don't want to just sit here and harp on the fact that people think that Nick Caley called a bad game. It was just bad. It was just poor execution. And like I said before, this is exactly what CJ Stroud said himself. CJ Stroud said that he could have done better. I know I asked him on Sunday. He said he could have done better. I asked him what led to a lot of that, those overthrows and things like that. So I don't want to just sit here because the easiest thing to do is to criticize Nick Caley. The easiest thing to do is just to drag his name through the mud. But on Sunday, you can't just blame Nick Caley for the ineffectiveness of that Texans offense. It had a lot to do with the way that CJ was playing in the first half and the way that he was able to rebound and clean it up in the second half to lead his team down the field to get the score. And so I just didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do I didn't want to do that to Nick Caley. I did not want to drag his name through the mud knowing that he didn't do as bad as people thought. Hey, what's up, Queena? I seen those holiday pictures. They were Amazing. I think that D'Amico Ryans came in and said that that they have to do a better job at the running the ball. So here's my thing. Like some week it looks good, some weeks it don't. And I don't even know if that has to do with the defense that they're playing as much as it has to do with some of the offensive linemen not being able to fire off the ball like they need to. Like it's been a long time since I've seen the Texans offensive line dominate in the run game, not just in spurts, but dominate for a full game. Like they need a full game of dominating the ball. Like hey, who said that? They need some nasty. They need some nasty throughout the entire game. What the last week, D'Amico Ryans challenged the defense and said that they needed a first quarter turnover, and that's exactly what Derek Stingley did with that pick six. I would ask him to challenge the offense this week, the offensive line this week, and say, hey, in this game, I just want y'all to whoop somebody's ass. Just whoop their ass coming off the line. Just maul them. I don't care if you get penalties as far as, if you're getting penalties because you are if you're getting a penalty because you're being over aggressive or super aggressive, then hell, do it. Do it. Be super aggressive. Be as aggressive as you have to be. I need you to set the tone. I need you to be nasty this week. I need you to get out there and just bust somebody in the mouth. I need to see that on a consistent basis, at least just for one game. You get out there and you bust somebody in their mouth and you set that tone early that I'm here all day and this is what we're going to do. And I think that offense will be a whole lot better. They have a lot of good pieces on the offensive side of the ball. They just can never seem to get the continuity to get it together. And I'm sorry, y'all. Queen said they just need to drop their nuts. Oh man. Hey, we gotta take a break. When we come back, we're definitely gonna talk about something that seemed impossible for the Houston Texans to do after the first 3 weeks of the season. We'll be back.
Hi, Laura Williams coming to you here from Easy Honda. Just want to remind you that this is my new home, and here at Easy Honda, we are here to take care of all your vehicle needs. From new vehicles to pre-owned vehicles, we've got what you are looking for. And if you're a business and you're looking for vehicles, we've got a great selection here at our dealership. For any information on getting your next vehicle here at Easy Honda, you can reach me at 281-224-3666. Remember to ask for Laura Williams. We make it easy here at Easy Honda.
Hey, welcome back. You're tuned to Sports Talk with Big Sarge. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you follow me on the app, formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you're reading all my articles on www.bigsargemedia.com. I just dropped an early article this morning about how the Houston Texans will be well represented in the Pro Bowl this season. 2 days ago, I dropped Faith and Family has gotten Jawar Jordan through the first 2 years of his NFL career. It's an exclusive on Jawar Jordan. And I got some other stuff over there too. You've read my Ariante Ursery. You read my Mr. Consistency about Nico Collins. There's an article over there about Derek Stingley Jr. and how Geno Smith thought. Hey, look, side note. All right, let me sit up and say this. Hey, I don't know who needs to hear this, right? I don't know who needs to hear this, but hear me out. Dear NFL offensive coordinators who have to play the Houston Texans. Somebody should have warned you, but if they didn't, don't worry. Big Sarge got you. Come close. Come here. Bring your ass here. Come here. Hey, don't throw the ball to Derek Stingley's side. I thought everybody knew that. I thought, like, I know I'm not the only one who thought that. Don't throw the ball to Derek Stingley's side of the field. Like, you can. I'm not saying that it's physically impossible for you to do. It ain't smart. It's not smart. I think since week 10, Sting's only given up like 8 catches. 8 catches since week 10. Like, I get it. You want to see, hey, today may be the day that Derek may be having a bad day. I get it. Today may be the day that Derek, ain't on his A game. Derek's always on his A game. Stingley is always on his A game. And he finds it more offensive that you stay away from him. He's like, he want to work too. He want to earn his money as well. And I guess that Geno Smith had to learn that early in the game on Sunday. And if you go back and you watch that play, it is one of those plays where Stingley's tactics, right? Stingley's tactics are his tactics and his fundamentals are so sound that a lot of times quarterbacks, when they're trying to throw to his side and want to throw to his side, Sting will show them one thing and he'll do another, right? He'll show them one thing, but then he'll do another. And if you go back and you watch that play, right, and we'll probably do it on Tuesday night, we'll talk about this again. But if you go out and you go back and watch that play, when Geno Smith rolls out, it's 3rd and 1 from it's 3rd and 1, second offensive possession for the Las Vegas Raiders on their own 30. 3rd and 1, he rolls out. And what he initially sees is Derek Stingley turning to run with Brock Bowers. Geno Smith sees that. Now, he knows he has to get the ball out of his hands quickly because Danielle Hunter is coming directly in his face. He is coming to knock fire. Some of y'all too young to know what that means. He's coming to knock fire out of Geno Smith. And so he's rolling out. Danielle Hunter is coming directly at him. Initially, he sees Derek Stingley turn to run with Brock Bowers, and he knows that he has a wide open Ashton Jeanty in the flats. So, hey, let me get the ball out of my hands quickly so I can throw it in the flats and get this first down and keep the sticks moving. Well, as he's rolling out and as he's focusing on Danielle Hunter, what he doesn't realize is that Sting fakes him to make him think that he's going and that he does have the underneath stuff. He turns to run and then he stops and he comes back and he sits right in the flats. He sits right in the flats. Now, if Geno Smith makes a better throw, could it have been a completed pass? It could have. Could it have been a pass deflection? It could have. But it damn sure wouldn't. It damn sure would have been better than the outcome of the pick six. The pick six that Derek Stingley had, his first in his NFL career and the first since high school. But Stingley just sat there, and his ability to process and to read plays is one of his biggest assets, one of his biggest attributes, which is why I'm expecting him to be named to the first team All-Pro team again. Like, that's a whole side of the field that he completely takes away. But Geno Smith thought that he saw Stingley turn to run with Brock Bowers, which, hey, look, Brock Bowers is a very good tight end in the NFL. I would, if I'm a quarterback, I'm thinking, okay, I see Stingley, and I know that it's already peaked over the top help with Kalen Bullock. So I know that Ashton Jeanty, the linebacker, ain't gonna be able to get over fast enough to get Jeanty in the flats. Plus, they'll probably think that we're going to run this with Jeanty on 3rd and 1. So Derek sells him on the go route with Bowers, which they was expecting Bowers to clear him out. He sells him on that, and then he turns right back around and sits right there and says, okay, now I'm here. And by the time he realized that Sting was sitting in the flats, the ball was already gone. The ball was already gone out of his hands. And the rest, as uh, the old people would say, is history. Sting is teaching people, do not play with me, bro. Like, you can play with everybody else, but don't play with me. Do not play with me. All right, so before we went to the break, I told you that there's something that could potentially happen after this weekend. After this weekend, that nobody saw coming. After the Texans were 0-3. Okay, I'm lying. Sarge, okay. Okay, I'm lying to y'all, right? I'm lying to y'all. I seen it coming. I did. Me. I can't speak for everybody except the three people who disagree with me. And that's DJ BNMA from ESPN, Jonathan Alexander from the Houston Chronicle, and Chancellor Johnson. On that Texans cookout, they looked at me like I was crazy when we went through, can the Houston Texans still make the playoffs? Will the Houston Texans still make the playoffs? And all three of them said no. And Sarge said yes. And here we are now, right? That was after week 3. Here we are heading into week 17, with the Texans having won their 10th game of the season last week, their third 10-win season since DeMeco Ryans has taken over in 2023. Here we are with them in a great position to make the playoffs, something that a lot of people didn't think that it was going to happen, except Sarge. And they have the potential. They're currently in 7th right now. Y'all know the Houston Texans have the potential to be the 5th seed in the AFC after this weekend. I don't think a lot of people realize that. But if you go and you look, the Houston Texans will play the Los Angeles Chargers on Saturday. The Buffalo Bills will play the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday. The Buffalo Bills still have an opportunity, and let me just double check because I just want to make sure I tell you all exactly. The Buffalo Bills are currently 11-4, right? They have already clinched a playoff spot. But they also have the potential to be the number 1 overall seed in the AFC. They have the potential to be to win the AFC East. Currently, the New England Patriots are 12-3, and I think that they got 2 easy games, like against the Jets and like the Jets and somebody. Like, they're playing some bad teams the last 2 weeks. And the Bills are playing the Eagles on Sunday. Well, the Bills are playing for something, of course, but the Eagles are playing for something as well, because the Eagles are currently in 3rd at 10-5. But if Chicago loses this week, or they drop a game within the next 2 weeks, and Philly wins out the next 2 weeks, they could be in the 2nd seed, or they could potentially, depending on what happens with the Seattle Seahawks. Well, I think that the 49ers are the only team that could be in first place in the NFC. What I'm trying to tell you is, as I digress, the Eagles are playing for something. The Bills are playing for something. The Eagles beat the Bills and the Texans beat the Chargers. They will all be 11-5, but the Houston Texans will own the tiebreaker over the Bills because they defeated the Bills, and they will own the tiebreaker over the Chargers because they would have just had defeated the Chargers. Somebody tell me they saw that coming after week 3, going 0-3. Hell no, nobody but Sarge. And the Texans still have an opportunity to be AFC South champions. I stumbled across a photograph. It kind of made me laugh. It took me way back down memory lane, 2023. It's the exact same scenario. The Houston Texans went in week 18, needing to defeat the Indianapolis Colts. It was a win and get in type game. They were just trying to win to get in. They weren't trying to really win the AFC South. They didn't think they really had an opportunity to win the AFC South because at that time, the Jacksonville Jaguars were on their game, right? Even though, listen, let me tell you what I mean by on their game. They were playing bad the last couple of weeks, but they had played so well that things had kind of balanced itself out, and they were still in the driver's seat for the AFC South Championship, right? So all the Houston Texans want to do was to just defeat the Colts, get into the playoffs, and see what happens there, right? They never expected what was going to happen on the next day when the Tennessee Titans beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. And now with that loss, the AFC South went to the Houston Texans. So as well as Jacksonville is playing, right? As well as Jacksonville is playing, and it's going to take a miracle. Let me see. Who are their last 2 opponents? Let's go take a look. Let's go take a look at their last. They play. They have the Colts this week, and they have the Titans. Then the Texans have the Chargers, and the Texans have the Chargers and the Colts. So it can still happen. They still have an opportunity to win the AFC South. They still have an opportunity to get to the 5th seed in the 5th seed in the AFC playoffs. Here's the thing about it, right? Because currently at 7, they would have to go to New England to play the Patriots. If they get into the 5th spot, the Texans can get into the 5th spot, then guess what? They'll probably be going to Pittsburgh and playing the Steelers. And I think that would be a good game, but I think it'd be more advantageous for them to play the Steelers than going all the way up to Foxborough and having to play in that type of weather in January. I think that even if they have to travel to Pittsburgh, which they will have to travel to Pittsburgh to play, I think they'd rather play in that cold than to play in that Foxborough cold. And then after that, it gets mucky if they beat the Steelers. If they get to the 5th seed and they beat the Steelers and they move on. I haven't gotten that far. All I can say is that nobody seen this coming except Sarge. Ow! Okay. I need to find something right here. Give me a second. Give me 1 second because I'm about to get ready to end this show. Let me see something. I gotta find something. Y'all give me 1 second. I think I found it. Okay. We're about to take a break. Hey, is that dude still in here? If not, oh well, I don't give a damn. We're about to take a break. When we come back, I'm gonna tell you why Sarge knows ball. and a lot of other people don't. We'll be back.
Hi, Laura Williams coming to you here from Easy Honda. Just want to remind you that this is my new home, and here at Easy Honda, we are here to take care of all your vehicle needs. From new vehicles to pre-owned vehicles, we've got what you are looking for. And if you're a business and you're looking for vehicles, we've got a great selection here at our dealership. For any information on getting your next vehicle here at Easy Honda, you can reach me at 281-224-3666. Remember to ask for Laura Williams. We make it easy here at Easy Honda.
Hey, welcome back. You're tuned to Sports Talk with Big Sarge. I'm your host, Big Sarge. All right, listen, let's get all that stuff out of the way. So, Sunday had to be Sunday. On Sunday, right? On Sunday, the Houston Rockets lost to the Sacramento Kings in overtime by a score of 125-124. And that's coming off the big win that they had just had in Denver against the Nuggets, right? They played in the back-to-back. So they beat Denver on Saturday night, traveled to Sacramento Sunday, had a lead on Sacramento, gave the lead up, had to go into overtime. They lost in overtime 125-124, which is their second bad loss in the last 3 games, right? Their second bad loss in the last 3 games. They lost to the New Orleans Pelicans in overtime, team that didn't have 10 wins on the season at the time. And then they turned around and they lost to the Sacramento Kings, who did not have 10 wins on the season at the time they played. So they had 2 bad losses, but right in the middle of that, they had a great win against the Nuggets. So a lot was made, right? A lot has been made about the last play for the Sacramento Kings in overtime, right? So let me set the scene. Rockets are up 123. Hold on, let me make sure. I got it right. The Rockets are up 124-122, right? The Rockets are at 124-122, right? The Kings have the Kings have possession of the ball. And this is I can't do this, y'all. Hold on. Y'all give me 1 second. I was about to show y'all something from there. Let me just do it from where I got it right here. Let me just do it from here. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me airdrop this thing to myself because it ain't gonna show right on here. But as I continue to set up to set up what's going on, so the Rockets were up 124-122, and the Kings had the ball the last possession. A lot has been made about the play in itself, but in particular, people are picking on Tari Eason. Hold on, why is this not doing this? Okay. People are picking on Tari Eason and his defensive assignment in the last game. His defensive assignment on that last play, right? Mind you, it's Tari Eason's first game back after missing almost 2 months with an oblique injury. It's his first game back, first game he played in a while. He provided a lot of energy off the bench for the Houston Rockets. And so I made a comment on Monday that if you're blaming Tari Eason for the loss, then you don't know ball. And then all these people started to come out, and I say, you know what? Let me take this down, because the way you're reading it and you're going to interpret it won't do what I said justice. You need to hear my voice. So y'all can clip this up, put it out, and then you can send it to whoever you want to send it to, because they said, Sarge, you're dumb, you're stupid, because Ime said this, Calvin said this, other people said this, said Tari Eason should have stuck to his man. Tari Eason should have stuck to. Tari Eason should have stayed with Dennis Schroeder, so he couldn't get that shot off. 1 second. I need to pull up the roster. Where is the little dude at? Okay, here he is right here. So, where is it? Okay. Said he should have stayed with him, right? Said Tari Eason should have stayed with him. Sorry, you don't know ball. That's a lie. That's a damn lie. And the reason why I don't have any problem saying this, and I'm going to talk to Ime Udoka on Thursday when I'm out in LA when the Rockets take on the Lakers. I will be in LA for that. And I'll talk to him and ask him on the side. I mean, we can have this conversation, and it's not no, hey, coach, I know more to you. Let me preface my statement by saying that. Make sure y'all clip that up too. I'm not saying, coach, I know more to you. I'm not saying what you told Tari to do and what Tari did. I'm not saying that you didn't tell him that. I wasn't there. I haven't talked to Tari. I haven't talked to any of the players. I don't know what you told Tari. But if you say you told Tari to stay, okay, I get it. But you also, the same thing that'll make you laugh will be the same thing that makes you cry, right? And you know the type of player that Tari Eason is. You know the type of player that he is. He has a very, very, very high basketball IQ when it comes to things that are going on the court at that time. I remember former Houston Rockets head coach Stephen Silas said this about Tari Eason. He's a ball magnet, and the ball tends to find him. The basketball tends to find him at all times. And so when you go back, and we're about to watch this play, I want you to watch and see exactly what happens during this play. And this is why I said you can't really blame Tari Eason for what he did on that last play. Let me pull it up. Here we go. I hope it shows good.
But Houston switching. But Houston switching.
Why ain't it pausing? Okay. So here we go. How can I put this on? No, it won't let me put it on. Let me see if I can expand this. Okay, here we go. I don't even know. Now I gotta give me a second, y'all, because I'm trying to get this thing and play it in real time. And I hope that y'all can see it. All right, so here's the final play. Right? Here's the final play.
Houston is going to play on. But Houston switching. And picks up DeRozan.
Where's Tari at right now? Is Tari on his man? Tari is right in front of Schroeder, right? Let's let it play out. Is Tari still on his man? Can Tari still see the ball and his man?
6 on.
Look at when Tari heads and turns towards the basket. When the best player on the team for the Kings has the ball going up to try and tie the game, or so it seems. Look at when Tari leaves his man. Look at it. Look at when Tari leaves his man. Tari does not leave his man until DeMar DeRozan goes into the lane. Hold on, let me see if I can bring it back.
Picks up DeRozan. 6 on the.
Look at Tari. Now, here's the thing, and this is why I say some of y'all don't know ball, because Tari doesn't leave his man until DeMar DeRozan is gathering for a shot. What he's about to do now is what he always does. He's heading toward the basket just in case they miss and he can get the rebound. What the hell are we talking about here? I've seen so many people trying to criticize Tari Eason for this shot. Not to mention, Dennis Schroeder was freaking 2 for 7 from three-point range. If that's Malik Monk and Tari Eason is doing this, I'm saying to myself, Tari, nah, you probably should have stayed. But look at what's happening. DeMar DeRozan is gathering to go up. That will tie the game. If he misses this shot, Tari is coming to be in prime position in order to get the rebound. What DeMar DeRozan does is make a good pass, and Dennis Schroeder just so happened to hit a shot. But the shot that Dennis Schroeder takes is a way more ineffective shot than what DeMar DeRozan is about to take. And if he misses that, Tari is in prime position to get the rebound. Look at where he is. If he misses that shot, Tari is right there to get the rebound. He kicks it out to Dennis Schroeder. That's a good shot. That's all that is. All that is a good shot by Dennis Schroeder. I'm not going to knock him for that. He took a damn good shot. But that's Tari Eason, and that's who he is. And the Rockets know that. The Rockets know that this is the player that Tari Eason is. A three-pointer can beat us. Cool. Who gonna take it? Oh, DeMar DeRozan? He not taking it. Malik Monk? He not taking it. Dennis Schroeder? How many coaches in the NBA are drawing up plays to make sure you stay on Dennis Schroeder to prevent him from hitting a game winner? Senior Boble, let's watch it again. You tell me where he messes up. Stay on your man. Tari's on his man. Stay on your man. Tari is on his man. Tari is playing great defense. Seeing ball, seeing man. Seeing ball, seeing man. DeMar DeRozan, killer in the mid-range. Killer at finishing the basket. The Rockets are down by 2 points. The Rockets are up by 2 points. He gathers. As he gathers, who is thinking that DeMar DeRozan is going to pass the ball to Dennis Schroeder for the game winner? That's all I'm asking. DeMar DeRozan is your best player. And at best, you're thinking, if he's not going to shoot the three to win the game, he's trying to tie the game. Look at when Tari leaves. DeMar DeRozan is gathering. You don't even expect DeMar DeRozan to be able to make a pass from where he is. But he makes a great pass, and Dennis Schroeder makes a great shot. I believe what happened is exactly what happens after everybody watches any sporting event. You armchair quarterback, you armchair coach, you armchair GM. But in real time, I don't see what Tari Eason is doing wrong. Here we have DeMar DeRozan gathering, getting ready to take the shot. Tari is coming in to crash to secure the rebound just in case he misses it. Basketball sense, Tari's been playing basketball seems like since he came out the womb. Tari is looking and saying, if he misses this shot, I think that's Amen. No, that's Amen is under the board. He's not going to be able to get that backside. So let me come in, crash the board, and get the rebound. I also know I'm playing against one of the best players in the NBA in DeMar DeRozan, who I know if he ain't shooting the three, if he ain't shooting the mid-range, he's trying to tie the game up. He's driven all the way to the basket. And if we keeping it a buck, It turns out to be a great play, but this ain't what coaches want to see their best player doing. Look at what Tari's crashing the ball or crashing the board now when the man is going up for the shot. This looks like a shot. He's coming in to secure the rebound. He just makes a better play. How can I be the only one that sees that? You know what, Sarge? Hold on. Give me a second. Nope, that ain't it either. Okay. Why can't I find this? Why can't I find exactly what I'm looking for? This may be it. Y'all give me a second. Now, I got a couple of minutes before I have to get up out of here. Let me see something. Yeah, I got a couple of minutes before I have to get up out of here. But I'm gonna find this because maybe some people ain't seeing it how I'm seeing it. Maybe we need to. Maybe I need a bigger video. Let me see if this is gonna do it. This may do it. Y'all give me a second after this. After this ad pulls up. There we go. Ooh, that's gonna be a good game. The Bears and the 49ers play. Okay. Let me fast forward it. And I'm gonna put it like this too. The Rockets should have never been in this position. It shouldn't have never been in this position in the first place. They should have won this game outright. Okay, here we go. Let me see. All right, here we go. Let me share my screen. Now, maybe this will do us some justice. All right. Here we go. DeMar DeRozan comes and gets the ball. Let me see if I can make this bigger. DeMar DeRozan comes and gets the ball. Tari Eason is told to stay with his man. Look what Tari Eason is. Everybody stick with their man. Tari can still see man and the ball. DeMar DeRozan is getting to the paint. It's 7.2 seconds left. The Kings are down 2 points. Look, Tari is still in position. This is what I don't like when people's like Tari should have stayed with his man. Tari is still in great defensive position to hold his man, to prevent a 3-point shot at this point. Look at when he comes down. He still can see the ball, and he still knows where Dennis Schroeder is. This is a gather. You see, when Tari doesn't move until DeMar DeRozan starts to gather. Look at where Amen Thompson is. He's under the board. If he misses this shot, this player right here is in prime position to get the ball and put it back up. Tari is crashing down, right? Tari comes crashing down. Are you telling me that when you are playing basketball and you see this, DeMar DeRozan is in prime position to lay the ball up, but if he misses, Tari is crashing down in order to get the rebound and to secure the rebound. He's trying to come in, he's crashing the board, right? Because in his eyes, this is a shot. So he doesn't leave his man until it looks like DeMar DeRozan is about to take a shot. I don't understand what everybody else is saying by he should have stayed on his man. I get it. I understand that the coach told him to stay on his man. I got it. To me, it looks like he stayed on on Schroeder long enough. Also, Schroeder was 2 for 7. He ended the game 3 of 8 from 3-point range. Right here, watch what Tari is. Look at what Tari is doing. Tari is coming in thinking that the ball is about to go up. Look at the Kings player pushing our men. Look at Tari pushing the Kings player. Because if he does go up and he misses that, he's in prime position. DeMar DeRozan makes a good pass. Dennis Schroeder gets a good catch, and he just hit. Tari almost was able to close out. So like I said, I don't understand it. I don't get it. People say Sarge don't know ball. Oh, well. Even if so hold on. I'll have this conversation with you. Even if they rebound and score, the game is tied. You're right. But what if Tari gets the rebound? See, you know what those 50-50 balls mean, right? Those 50-50 balls mean that 50 could go towards the Kings, 50 could go towards the Rockets. You tell me the last time you heard a coach say, we got to make sure Dennis Schroeder doesn't beat us. That's not Malik Monk. Malik Monk is one of their better three-point shooters. He's not. No. How did Tari guess wrong? He made a basketball play. I don't like for real, Senior Bubble. I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm really asking. How did he guess wrong when he's making a basketball play? Dennis Schroeder just hit the shot. If DeMar DeRozan misses that and Tari Eason secures the rebound, do you think we're having the same conversation? All of this is predicated on, all of this is because Schroeder hits the shot. Schroeder misses the shot. We're not talking about any of this. We're not talking about any of this. But I don't think you can say that he didn't make the right basketball play. He thought it was a shot going up, and it wasn't. He thought it was a shot going up from one of the best players in the NBA right now in DeMar DeRozan. Score 124-122. DeMar DeRozan doesn't shoot the three-pointer. DeMar DeRozan doesn't take the mid-range like he normally does. DeMar DeRozan drives all the way to the basket. All the way to the basket signifies he's going for the layup. It was just it was a better play and shot from Dennis Schroeder to me than it was a bad basketball play for Tari. If Tari comes off of him early and doesn't know where Schroeder is, I get it. I would have given you that. But the whole time, Tari is watching the ball and watching his man, He does not leave his man until DeRozan gathers and goes up. When DeMar gathers and goes up, he's crashing the board, but that's just me. So, hey, dude, wherever you are, I hope you stayed around to watch. If you didn't, oh well, kiss my ass, so what? And I don't have no, y'all remember that? Kiss my ass, so what? And I don't have no damn receipt either. Oh, this has been fun. Been tuned to Sports Talk with Big Sarge. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports, the Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you follow me at Big Sarge Sports, the Z at the end on Instagram. Because you know we do everything for the gram. Make sure you read all of my articles at bigsargemedia.com. I got to get ready to go because the Texans have practice today and they have locker room access and press conferences. So it's a short week for them as they get ready to head to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers on Saturday. Big Sarge, I'm out.
Big Sarge.